Hello, thank you for speaking to Times of India. I'm Karen. Uh,
Hi Karen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am very well, thank you.
Okay, so I love the trailer. And have you got any special response that you really loved till date?
For the trailer,
Yes.
yes, absolutely. People have been messaging me and telling me on social media in my private messages that they really are spooked out and they're really looking forward to an honest, a good horror film which they've been missing for quite some time now. And I hope I can offer them that.
Yes. So you're known for your horror films. What about the spirit realm captivates you, and what is it that makes Chhorii special from the other films?
I think as in India, we all have always been captivated by horror stories, right? I mean, from grandmother tales till sitting around bonfires and narrating horror stories. And even today, I guess when people meet and at a certain time, at certain moments, at certain events, if somebody starts narrating one event, then I'm pretty sure everybody starts narrating their own experiences. Could sometimes could be small, sometimes could be big. So I think it's inherent to our country and to our culture and to our tradition to speak about horror and to enjoy talking about horror. So I think it's just I'm just trying to tell those stories in the visual format. It is derived from not one but quite a few stories together. Once you see the film, you will know exactly what I mean when I say that. But for that, you'll have to see the film. And pretty sure you will find the story which you also might have heard somewhere in it.
Okay. You've taken a female lead in this. What made you pick Nushrratt as your leading lady to tell this story?
Yeah, so when I'd met Nusrat a few years back, or rather 2 3 years back, with regards to some another project, we had a lovely conversation, and I saw that she, as an actor, is very enthusiastic. She is very kicked, very hungry to do different kinds of roles, the kind of roles which were not offered to her because she was being offered a certain kind of roles. But I saw that she has a lot of hunger to do something different, and I could see that hunger, I could feel that hunger in her. And I instantly liked her, is what I would say. As a person, as an actor, I could see that there's a lot of potential which is still to be explored in this girl. uh, then later when the character was written, I could see Nusrat in it because Nusrat has such a relatable personality, because she's such a next door kind of a girl, and she's petite also. She's not heroic. She doesn't look that heroic. She's not tall. She doesn't have those very heroic, I would say, very uh, typecast heroic look in her. She's a very next door girl. So that really helps my character, because when the character looks like a next door girl, then the person can imagine that this person could be his daughter or his sister or his wife, that kind of a, or his friend. So you can see that this could be a person who's related to you and who is around you. And that really helps the story, because then the fear exceeds, fear becomes much more intense, because then you start feeling for that person. So that was one. And then Nusrat was gracious enough to accept the role, in spite of knowing that this is such an intense film. And it would probably, she'll have to really work hard towards it and give her everything. And she really did a great job. I'm so happy to have her in the film, because what she did to the film has come as a surprise to me and will come as a surprise to the audiences.
Um, Talking about this heroine that you mentioned, is this the reason why we don't see many A-listers being cast in these horror movies because they are too glamorous?
That could be one of the reasons. Also, one another reason is that sometimes actors are a little scared, because it's a very treatment based genre. So what happens is, in the wrong hands, the film can start looking wrong. The storytelling could go wrong. That is one another fear that they have. And one more important thing is that when an actor is playing a certain character in a horror film, he is also needed to be a victim to the situation or to the supernatural entities or to something else, which I guess it's not the most preferable character, or most not the most preferable roles that most actors would want to do. They would want to look heroic, or they would want to do a lot of action in that sense, in the films that they do. So the takers are less. But with films, like if this film works and if this film is liked by the audience, then I would really hope and wish that more bigger actors start looking at this genre, and there is a certain trust that is built up towards this genre and towards some makers, some honest makers, some sincere makers who would really like to make good films and tell good stories in this genre.
Speaking of that, which actor would you like to cast in your next film? Like,
That's a very broad question. The wishes are I mean, there are too many wishes are there, but let's hope for just to give a name. What if, let's say, the biggest actor of this country, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, would play a horror film? I don't know, but it's just too big a wish to ask for.
with this thing, casting a female lead, there's also a lot of talk about pay disparity. As a director, how did you make sure to decrease that gap, even though this film may not have been such a big budget film?
I'm pretty sure the producers would have taken care of that, because the producers themselves have liked the story as it is. They themselves have made a lot of female based stories. So I guess they are quite aware of this fact, and they are quite, I would say, forward in their approach. And Vikram, as a producer, Vikram Malhotra, Shikha Sharma, they are a very far-sighted producer. So I would assume and I would hope and I'm pretty sure that they already have done justice to this part, and which is why everybody was happy on the set. Nusrat was really happy. So I'm pretty sure that justice was done. I don't have any doubts there at all.
Is there any particular reason why you still chose to go OTT rather than a theatrical release?
So I am not sure how safe it is to go to the theaters in this situation, in this time and age. Though theaters have started opening up, but I am myself am not sure. Also, people do have a certain scar, and they really would take some time to open up and start going to the theaters. Now, given a choice whether I would want to just release the film in some theaters in this country and maybe three, four, five other countries, vis-a-vis a choice to release this film in 240 plus countries where the people can safely watch it at their home, I would definitely select the second choice, because the whole objective of making this film again is that it should reach a wider audience. So if I'm getting a platform where it reaches an audience of 240 plus countries, then definitely Amazon Prime Video becomes my first choice, right? So I guess when I was told that, I had no doubts, and I was so excited because that's what I wanted to do, and now I'm getting to do that. So I'm really looking forward to getting reactions from all these countries where people will watch it, and they will see a certain side of Indian horror which they have never seen before, or rather very rarely seen before. So that's going to be very interesting.
So you're also speaking of horror films that that you want to scare, but what really scares you? Like what inspires you? What recent show did you watch that really got you looking under your bed and putting on the lights in the night?
No, I don't think at this stage I am a person who gets scared so much with content as such. There's rarely anything that really scares me. What scares me is life itself and the humans around us. So that is scary, not the films and the content. So no, I recently no. There could be many things which I would have found interesting. Whether I'm scared or not, no, I don't think so. That it has that it has that effect anymore on me. But I remember the classics, when we had watched when we were young, films like The Shining, Rosemary's Baby, all these films. And even when we were younger, the Ramsey films would also scare us, because we were so ignorant and we were so innocent at that point of time. So those films also would scare us when we were kids. Recently, I think in India, the not much horror content is being made, which is scary enough. So it's very difficult to name anything.
So you mentioned Hollywood, your poster somewhat like gives me Children of the Corn vibes. Would you say, children play a major role in these horror genres and should be explored more?
They do play. I mean, any factor of your life which you feel is uh, I mean, any factor of your life which protects you or which you feel cannot harm you, if those things start harming you or they start behaving differently, then obviously it is going to scare people, right? So children are such where we do not expect them to behave a certain way. We expect them to be naive. We expect them to be innocent. We expect them to obey you, and then suddenly, if they start disobeying you, they start talking differently, and you can't do anything about it because they are children, right? So it, I think it does become a scary factor. Very strongly remember, I think Stephen King had once said that the Shining, when he was making the Shining, or when he was writing the Shining, sorry, one of the things that he really put into the film, that he's scared by his kids, you know. So which is why a strong aspect of that can be seen in the Shining, where the kid is scaring him, you know. So yeah, I guess it's just kids are very innocent, and then when you start behaving differently, it does become scary, because you don't know what's going in their mind, right? You don't know if a kid is looking in a corner, what is the kid looking at, you know. So it's that effect.
Now that you've already made a film that is releasing on OTT, is a web series also on the cards for you?
There are some talks going on, but it is too early in the day to talk about it. Hopefully someday we will talk about it soon.
Okay, cool. And yeah, so any other message that you hope people take away from this movie, or
No, I mean, I would just say that please do watch the film in large numbers. Please give, if you like the film, please suggest that everyone should watch it. What will that do is, when the film will work and when it will be appreciated, we as filmmakers and many other filmmakers like me who want to explore this genre will get more opportunities to make more honest films. So it will only help the audience to have a better selection of films moving ahead, and a different variety of films in this genre. So my only expectation is that people should watch the film and then decide whether they like it or not like it.
thank you and all the very
Thank you so
best.
much. Thank you so much.
Nice
Lovely
talking to you.
talking to you.